Test. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, hello. Okay. A little bit closer. And like this. It's following you somehow.
Really?
Yeah. How was the milk?
Well, it was a nice tea at the end. It was really nice. Thank you.
Okay. So my next guest needs no introduction.
Okay.
So Morgane here was part of our book. We know each other since Singapore.
Yeah.
We met on the job. I was working for studio, and Morgane was one of the model, and for a casting that we were having, a very long casting. It was like 200-300
For
people.
you it was long.
Yeah.
For me it wasn't. I didn't know it that long. The casting was 10 minutes and then yeah, I think
Sure.
I read one of the first one as well. Or I didn't have to wait at all. For you the casting was long because you spent the whole day there.
Wow.
Not for me.
Wow. For a very simple shot, actually.
Yeah, for one shot.
For one single shot. Yeah. So, how did you start modeling? What's your story?
It's really long, but I seriously became a model when I moved in Asia, when I went for the first time by myself.
Okay. Where were you born?
Let's start by the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
I'm born near Paris.
Okay.
So in France, yeah. And then I grew up, I moved in Australia when I was 10 years old, and then I moved back in France, but in the south. I stayed there for like 13 years, so I consider myself from the south, because I grew up there.
Okay.
Then I came back by myself again in Paris, like for 2 years. I worked and I saved money, and then I decided to travel around the world. I was just tired of France and the work I was doing. I was a receptionist for luxury offices. And yeah, I decided to go in Asia because I've been in Asia many times when I was a kid with my mom, so many times in Singapore. I've been in Thailand. I used to live in Australia, so we were crossing by Singapore, you know. So I was like, yeah, let's go just by myself and I will see. So I packed like 17 kilos of stuff and I took one ticket to Singapore. And I didn't come back before 1 year and a half, I think. Like I just improvised. I had no plans.
And Singapore is a very tough place to be, honestly.
Yeah, but it's like Thailand. I've always felt home there. Like even though last time I was there, I was 12 years old. But when I arrived, I felt home. Like I don't know, it's this feeling, this energy. Maybe because I've been there, and I had this comfortable feeling. So, and also my mother's best friend, also that's also really helpful. My mother's best friend is still based in Singapore.
Okay.
So I visit her and she's a yoga teacher. So the plan was just to visit her for like a month, take care of myself, do a bit of yoga, and then start to backpack around Asia and, you know, and see. Like I like to not have plans and travel alone. I know it sounds scary for many people, but it's really something I appreciate more than traveling with people.
But that didn't happen, you started to be model.
So my mom pushed me for modeling since many years. I did some pictures sometimes. I had some experiences before, but I never felt confident enough to be fully in it. And the moment I tried, when I was in Paris working and my mom was pushing me to visit agencies, I visit like 3 of them, of good agencies, and they all closed their door to me and saying that I was overweight, that one of them was so rude. He told me, you will never be a model in our agency for sure. Maybe you can try freelance, but I don't see you, I see you more commercial, but like on washing machine product maybe, but never more than that. Like, you don't want me in your agency, this is a thing, but do you need to like, to be rude, to be disrespectful?
Why this long description?
Because
instead
I
of
asked
just
him
a
like,
no, like...
are you sure? Because I asked him like, do you recommend another agency? What would you recommend me or something? He was like, yeah, like you're pretty, but like you don't have the potential to be a model. Like.
But you are clearly, it's strange. I mean, you are tall. So it's not that you're short.
Yeah, well, apparently they were taking only the competition in Paris is a bit like in Italy, you know. It's like so he was telling me that I was too short. I'm 176. Yeah, they say, yeah, we can take. I think that's just excuses, but just tell me, yeah, we are not interested in your profile. That's it. Like one of the agency gave me a list of all the agencies in Paris, and they were like, we don't take you, but like if you want, this is, that's helpful at least. It's just like,
Sure.
It's your choice. I respect that, but you don't need to
offend
humiliate me and to offend me. Like that's. I went out. I called my mom and I said, I'll never be a model. This is not my thing. It's too painful, and I'm not ready for that. Like the moment you start to have a bit of self-confidence, someone is just crashing it that easily in 1 second. Like, no, fuck that. So I didn't want to, but I was like, what do we call a model in French? Because a model in English is what you call model, but in French it's like model picture. So it's just like taking pictures and all, but it's not really an agency like career modeling, The career modeling is mannequin. So it's another two different terms, but it makes a little difference. So I was doing that. I was doing some pictures with some photographers. I think more for the gram and the pleasure to pose, but actually it teach me a bit of posing. And then yeah, I decided to leave, and I was like, this is not my life anyway. When I was a kid, I wanted to be a vet or an actress. Okay. So there is whatever I choose to do in my life. It's always related to one of these jobs. Or one of these goals, one of these directions.
Actress for sure, it could have been.
I never tried, but like modeling is really related to this artistic type, right? So yeah, maybe.
No, because this fact, for example, this in Italian as well, we have indossatrice, which is mannequin.
Okay.
Okay, which is the person.
Doesn't sound like mannequin when you say it.
No, it's the one who dress.
Okay.
So it's more related to actually what you are when you are modeling, especially like catwalk. You just need to be very tall, very thin. The face is not very important if it's expressive or not, and you need to dress and be like living mannequin that go up and down. That's
so
it.
Now that I'm a model, this is not the part that I'm interested in. I hate fashion shows. I find it beautiful and amazing, but it's just I'm so stressed when I'm on the catwalk. I'm not shy. If I stay on stage, I'm comfortable with the public to interact, to act. But it's the fact that I have to walk and I have one chance to walk fast that stress me out. It's really weird because if I stay on stage, I'm okay. After 2 minutes, I'm okay. I could interact.
If you think about it, how long that we have this catwalk going up and down and that's it? I mean, could have been anything. And was something more creative sometimes, but in a very artistic way that I don't think is always necessary, but it could be anything because at the end of the day nobody actually walk in that way, turn and come back. It never gives me a feeling
it's for the attitude that they give, like for fashion I understand it gives the attitude yeah, I understand, but this is not my attitude, and even though I like to play to act and play some roles sometimes, this is not my thing, and also because even though I try, I'm just so scared to mess it up. And yeah, it's just almost a phobia. I'm really scared on fashion shows.
If the casting someone who say that you have to take a photo of the washing machine, of course that's all a stress.
Yeah, but at the end it didn't stop me. it did stop me for a while. So then I moved in Singapore, and my mom. I spent 1 month, and after 1 month, my mom called me. You did you visit agency? And she we had almost a big conversation about it.
And why your mom was particularly pushing you this direction?
Because she's cameraman and she did pictures before, and she worked for 17 years at TV, so she knows that I had potential. She saw the potential since I was a kid. So that's why I say in and off, because when I was 12 years old living in Australia, Elite Model Look wanted to sign me. They asked my mom, and my mom was about to sign. But then to start modeling, a kid modeling career, and then after to sign me when I was 14. That would have been starting in Australia with Elite would have been a big career, straight away. But then we moved out of Australia because family business. We went back in France, and then my parents just broke up. So I had other ideas than starting modeling, and my mom wanted to take care of us and everything. So we let it for later. Then I did a big competition at 15 years old, Elite Model Look again.
Okay.
They do an international competition, and they do a national one first in every city, in each country. And they did one in France, and I was in the last 50 of France. And I was just 15 years old, you know. But then after they told me, we like you, we want to sign you in the agency, but you're too short, so come back when you have 2 centimeters more. I'm like, thanks. So you bring me to Paris to tell me I have 2 centimeters shorter. Like, why don't you just give me the card straight away? And when I grow up, I come to the agency, you know. Because I was living in the south. Coming all the way to Paris was,
sure.
yeah. And all my family came with me. Like, yeah. So that was the first big deception.
That's for sure.
And after that, the agencies in Paris, I was like, no, I'm not doing modeling. Because that was, again, like 3-4 years later. Like, I was like, no, I'm not going to be a model. My mom was trying to tell me, like, you have to get used to the no. A casting is like, sometimes it's more than half of the time no, and then one job, and I was like, no, I'm not ready for that. Like, yeah.
No, because you are probably one of the few of the book, or in general that I work with in the last few years, that you don't have reason, I mean, apparently not to work in Europe because you are tall and you have all the characteristics necessary for. So you are one of those that, yeah.
Also because, as I said, I started my modeling career later than everyone. Because at the end, when I moved, I was like 22.
Okay.
So that's already, it's sometimes the end for a modeling career. I mean, some girls that I met at this age already have 10 years of modeling. That was my first year. So, and then because I became a model in Asia, I stayed in Asia because I liked the life in Asia, and it was easy. Also, I'm exotic in Asia with my curly hair, tan skin, and brown eyes. In France and Europe, I'm not. My mix is more common, I would say. Like this curly hair and all, it's not as unusual and exotic as in Europe, as in Asia, you know. So also because I like the lifestyle, I stayed there longer. Now I have an agency in France, but I don't know. Like the last time I came, I stayed in France like longer than a month. It didn't work for me. I don't know why, but also it was Fashion Week. So Fashion Week is a lot of show, and I said to my agency, I don't do show. So obviously maybe I closed a big door. But this year I wanted to give it a try. I wanted to go in London. I wanted to go in Spain. I wanted to try Italy. I wanted to try everywhere in Europe as well. So I had a balance between Asia and Europe. But yeah, the plan changed, obviously.
You stay a long time in Singapore.
Yeah.
How long?
3 years and a half.
It's
in and out, obviously, because the visa run and everything. Yeah.
Well, I was there when we met, and I found it like unbearable, but you liked it.
Yeah.
Why?
I have the security feeling in Singapore.
Okay.
Yeah, and as I say, I feel home also. It's like a bubble. I know it sounds blind, but I think you find your comfort zone in Singapore, like a comfortable and home feeling. Also, when you already experiment outside. Okay. Like if you when you know exactly how it is going on, like how is it to live in France and Europe when you travel a bit everywhere and all, it's like a good and homey feeling to be in such a safe country. For some people it might be annoying and boring, but when you're based there and you have the opportunity to travel whenever you want and come back there, yeah, it's like a home when you come back and you just you know you're safe, you know everything is working well, you know you're protected, and as a woman that is in danger approximately everywhere in the world because I'm a woman and because the education is bad and because crime and because so many stuff. It's good to be safe, to feel safe like that in a country.
Where you don't feel safe?
Actually, in Europe mostly. Well, I mean, recently I didn't travel a lot in Europe. I've just been in England and France, I think, the last years. But since I'm traveling in Asia, in Philippines I didn't feel safe.
Me too.
Like even in the center, no. But France.
Paris.
The south, Paris, everywhere. In the center of Paris, it's fine. Depends where you're going. Around, no, out of question. Some other cities in France are really
because
nice.
For example, I came from Italy and I never felt this thing that is absolutely there, like that Asia is actually safer than lots of other places, because my city it's as safe as anywhere in Asia. So very difficult that something will happen to you unless you go completely crazy.
I had some experiences in my life that you're not supposed to go through, and from between the south and Paris, this is not normal. This is not normal to be harassed in the street. This is not normal to be disrespected, to be followed, to be like with the aggressions, like stuff like, I mean, luckily, thanks God, nothing really bad happened, but I've been in danger so many times and I don't think it's normal, and I didn't feel this pressure and this danger everywhere around the world.
No, for sure in Singapore you don't have this
Of
problem.
course, there is no danger at all, but yeah, like it's just like for Western countries, such a shame that we are missing education and there is still so much crime and so much, harassment in the streets still. Like this disrespect like that is not as intense in other countries around Europe that it is in France. Like really, it's a problem, and I can compare just being from in London to Paris, or just like even in Belgium, like. Depends on the area as well. Like in France, it seems it's everywhere. Just depending on the level of intensity, and it's unbearable. At the end, I think when I left France the first time, well, first of all, I didn't know how long I was going to take because I didn't know when I was coming back, so I had no idea. But when I came back, like when I left, I was super aggressive, and I still have this fire a bit temporary. Like I'm a bit fiery inside, but still, I was even more defensive and aggressive because I feel attacked my whole life, I think. Like not without not playing the victim or whatever, but it's just so many things, accumulation of also the French education that is quite rude and saying no to everything. Like it looks like a lot of things are not smooth and not working just simply as it could be, because people are stubborn and as a woman, it's in a lot of places, I'm sorry, it's really dangerous. And we're in France, so it's not. I don't think it's normal, And so obviously, you when you go out, you plan yourself how to dress up, how to react if something happens, whatever. If you go to party, you have to wear shoes that if something happens, you are able to run, or you will be able to pay a cab. Or like it's a whole plan in your head. No guys think about that, but this is in our head all the time. Public transport, okay. Like if you come back alone, you stick to one girl or someone else, like in the public transport, in case something happens, you have someone next to you. It's a whole plan all the time. Like imagine living like that all the time. It becomes a habit, but it's not normal.
No, well, Italy could be very nasty, just not in the city centers, but in Paris, when I was in Paris, I felt that anything can happen at any moment. That's the difference, and for sure the criminality, it's more, let's say, it's more, it could happen anything. I mean, I felt it. There was a level of danger that was actually higher than in Italy in general. Then of course,
I've never been to Italy, so I cannot speak. But
anything can happen anywhere in the world. I mean,
of course. But there is this mentality, I guess, this education. I don't know.
So, how was shoot for my book?
It was fast.
It was fast.
It was fast.
We shot several times or only one time for the book?
For the book, only once.
Only once?
Yeah, only once. Like 2 or 3 outfits, but only once. Also, actually, no, we shot many times because I was working at Sing Sing before. And so we did a few pictures at Sing Sing. But like proper photo shoot, that was the only first one in Singapore for the work, and then I saw you again at Sing Sing, so a few pictures there. But then for the book, only once. Yeah.
And then the one that we did.
And then today, but it's not for the book.
No, and then the jewelry.
But this one, as well.
Okay. Let's speak about like how you felt like during the shoot, if like there wasn't planned, you can be free, stuff like that.
What? Sorry.
You didn't have to pose. Was a more free way of.
Yeah, no, you don't. Yeah, you just explain the vibe that you're looking for, and then after you're not the kind of photographer that is like do that. You just like just do, and I will do. Like you follow you give a vibe and directions, but that's it. So it's nice because there is no real limit, and also I think you explained really well exactly what you're looking for.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know. It depends. I don't know. I understood what you were looking for, so I think it went well. If I'm in the book, I think I understood.
Well. looking at what I want, like the photos for the book that do you feel like, what's the feeling like? Like if I say like, okay, this is what I do, so I want this from you, this is what we are going to do. How you feel it, like challenged or bad or I don't know, or like...
I didn't do a lot of pictures like that, but I guess as an empathic person, I understand the vibe the people are looking for. So I don't know, it's like in my brain, I'm like, okay, like that, like this emotion, this feeling, and then I try. But that's why I'm always asking, can I see at least the first pictures? Because I need to see what angle you're taking and how it looks. If it's exactly the idea I have in mind, I need to see myself a bit. And then after, when I know which angle and where you're capturing, like then I can continue.
Are you good in take photos of yourself?
No. Actually, I like, okay, I'm definitely not the queen of selfie, and also because I never had a proper phone and camera, you know. I had a camera, like a proper phone with like an iPhone or a good camera phone later than everyone, because I lost, broke so many of them. Like I was cursed for the phones for many years. Like in 3 years, I lost, broke, or got stolen 11 phones. And I'm not joking, 11 phones in 3 years. This is not a joke, and this is not exaggerating. So my mom offered me like 2 or 3, like for birthday, Christmas, whatever. She was like, it's the last one.
Were all iPhones?
It's the last one. No. The iPhone,
phones.
the first and the only iPhone I had is this one. Actually,
Also.
this one is from a friend, but because the other one I had it for 4 years and I buy it by myself with my first modeling salary. And it was a second-hand one, and an iPhone 6. Back in the days, it was fine to have an iPhone 6. Now I still use an iPhone 6. And we're at the 12, but no, anyway. So I think because I never had a proper camera and all, I don't take out the camera that often. Also, I don't know, I don't have this... I know how to recognize a good picture, and I know which angle and I'm going to choose.
But with
I'm
you
super
or
picky. With me or anyone I can see, but I don't know how to I don't know how to manage the light or like everything, you know. I don't know anything about it.
How long time you spend on the phone? Because I think it's connected, like...
Really?
Yeah.
To be
like,
picky on details and all?
Yeah. If you're a person, then don't spend much time on the phone.
It's because I used to draw a lot, and I've always been in details, and I used to be very artistic, and also all the details and like how to picture and put stuff together and all. I think it's my artistic part somewhere.
Have you ever tried to take photos? Not with the phone, with the camera?
No.
Never crossed your mind?
It did, but I don't feel the potential. like because there is so many photographers, like it's really their thing, and like I don't know, it's an investment in the camera already, and I didn't...
Do you think it's a thing for a man?
Oh no, and there is no such a thing, one thing for men, one thing for female. Like everything is for everyone, and whoever feels connected to. That's, for me, that's out of...
Do you think that there is if you see a photographer, a woman and a man, do you think that you can say which one is a man, which one is a woman, just by looking at their photos that they produced?
No.
Yeah, me too.
No, that's no.
Yes.
It's the artistic print, it's the artistic mark and signature or style, but no, you have a style, not a gender in the picture. No.
Actually, I found out like most of women, professional photography, are actually more brave than many men. So you easily will mistake, if you don't know the names behind the photos, you will easily mistake one for another. You will mistake like a woman for a brave man and vice versa.
What do you mean by brave?
Well, they usually have a very strong empathic connection with their subjects.
Okay.
So a man sometimes it's a little bit more detached, like the feelings. So he looks like a little bit more scared. Like he didn't went really there. He didn't really spoke with the person much.
The model.
Yeah. A woman maybe it's more keen to speak with the models and have a more friendly approach, which may work for some works and may not work for some others. But so it's funny because actually you would say that one is the man, one is the woman, and then it's reversed. But I don't think it's possible to define what is like female photography and male photography.
I think maybe you can see just the only thing that you could see the difference on might be the energy and the expression of the model. How they feel either comfortable or not at all, or more relaxed, or more in synergy, friendly maybe, or...
Did you ever feel that one photographer wants something more than just the photos from you?
Yes.
How
But
many
I'm very
times?
guarded, so...
More or less, like, we're speaking about once or...
There is like 2 times it was really uncomfortable, and especially the second one. But I was so embarrassed that I was just laughing like, what? No, and just no. And then after I just left, you know, I was just, yeah, it was weird. But yeah, it happens, I guess. But that's why I'm glad I started modeling already as an adult. Even though I just recently started to feel like an adult, but I mean like like more grown up and enough is strong enough to just say no and put my boundaries, you know. Even with the agencies, like there is just.
Let's put the case you started at 12.
I think I would. I mean, you grow up with this idea, and like people make you understand this is the agency and this is the modeling world. If you want to work and do this job, you have to accept that. I think that's the idea they try to put in your mind.
So it's not really a one-person fault, it's the system.
Yeah, it's the system, but they brainwash you. So if you're not strong enough to just say no and put your boundaries, you might end up with a bad photographer and think it's normal, or if you want to success, you have to accept to, I don't know, to get naked for this photographer, and it actually will not give you success. Or maybe a short time and you've been abused by this photographer. You know, like, this is an extreme example, but there is so many stuff, like even agencies sometimes are brainwashing you, or just because you bring money to the agency, so obviously they're gonna make everything to keep you and suck all the money of you of your potential. So sometimes the intentions are not nice, and I'm against that, obviously. And I think when you're young you don't even realize that, because you're just like young and innocent, I would say. So you just let yourself be abused, and sometimes the parents have no idea what's going on. And I don't know, like all the models I met sometimes, like they are so young and so they just say yes to everything, and I'm like, put some boundaries. Like, where are your parents? Like,
the parents don't know.
They don't know, they
because
don't know. And
many,
even the kid, like,
many they are not in the business. They say,
of
oh,
course.
this actually it never really happened, because if it was happening for real, the parents will know and will stop the situation, but actually the parents have no control over it, right?
Yeah, exactly, and they have no idea. And even the kids, I mean, the model, even themselves, I don't think they even realize that they've been abused, or, but I mean abused, yeah.
They don't even realize.
They don't even realize, because they think it's the industry,
And they will realize
like this
later.
way to like push people to lose weight, like one of my agency told me, like, yeah, stop to eat that. Like they give me some tricks to like lose weight.
Okay.
They were like, yeah, we want you to dry. I was like, yeah, but like I don't have fat, I'm just muscle, like I don't really have fat on my body.
I never saw
they're
your
like,
fat.
yeah, so then stop working out and just like dry, like really. So stop to eat after 6
What do you
p.m.
mean dry?
Like dry, they wanted me like skinny bones, like.
Okay, and how you're supposed to become like that?
So I don't know. I had different tricks, different options. Like some models told me, like, yeah, 600 calories a day. I'm like, that's not even one meal. I don't know. Like,
Sure.
Start to eat after 6 p.m. Start to eat soup. Go run with empty stomach. Like so many stuff. So I was overwhelmed about all those ideas and all those, like, to the point that you almost feel guilty to. I never had like food problem. How do you call it? Not food problem, but like when you have a bad relationship with food.
Okay.
I don't remember the name. There is a special name. I never had that, but I've been stressed at some point and so unconfident. Like, when you have this formula of your own body, like you see yourself even more fat or different than you are, because of all these ideas that they put in your head.
Have you ever lived in the model's house?
Yeah.
How is it?
Well, it's hard also, to see all those girls like eating so less sometimes, or pressure themselves, But no, it was fun. It was fun. But
because people say that
to live alone.
actually the person who complain the most and find problems, even where they are known, is actually a woman looking at herself or a woman looking at another woman more than a man looking to a woman.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, but like when you're doing modeling, it's not to please men, it's to please the industry, right? So it's this. I mean, for me, it's the last of my problem. But now, first of all, and since a long time, it has always been me. So also, like
this thing that you say is actually it worth like a little bit of explanation. You are not, because usually a woman make herself beautiful for be likable to men. That's what the nature it's all about. But I mean, a certain extent, of course. But it's not because of that you have to become skinnier, prettier, whatever.
Most men are not really into this.
Just for fit in, like all men, I would say. Nobody is like looking for something like as the industry of modeling wants. So it's just for the job. And the job may change, like we just change the rules.
Yeah, I mean, there's different type of models, but basically, it's like fitting in the size of pants, and it's a lot of pressure. But that I would say the pressure worked on me like maybe 5 months, 6 months. Like it was making me really sad. Like you can not get tan, lose weight. Oh, you partied the other day, so you had so many calories of alcohol, and then everything I was doing was wrong. Take off your piercings. Whew, okay, it was new for me. So coming from like I was confident in real life, not in modeling, but like being in modeling gave me so many complex and feeling unconfident when I just reached the point when I was confident in my life before being a model, if that makes sense. So it put me a lot of complex, and I was like, what is going on? And then after I start to work really well, like I booked campaign that in the first month of modeling, you don't book that kind of campaign straight away. So at some point, like my agency was like, you still need to lose like 5 kgs. I was like, right now my size is okay. I lost already like 3 or 4 kilos. I'm not gonna lose like a bone, and I'm working. So as long as I'm working, I'm not gonna lose weight. So I said that to my agency.
So you were actually being selected by the clients, and everybody was fine with it.
Yeah.
But the agency...
Well, not everybody. They said that I could have booked more jobs if I was skinnier.
But they said, the client did say.
Yeah, but I think it's... Because also, I'm commercial, so usually...
But you don't know if it was real or not.
Yeah, I don't know if it was real or not, but I know they wanted to put pressure because obviously I was not the skinnier in the agency.
But did you think that they want to push pressure just to push you down and don't make you feel like, hey, it's me now, I did a big commercial, so everybody shut up, I'm important now?
I don't think they are mean in purpose, it's really money business. Like some countries really like skinny, and it works better when you are skinny. Like,
Working from the other side, it's very rare that they select the model that the photographer or the art director wants. They mostly do their own selection. That it's always strange. They have some reasons sometimes, but most of the time the complaints are out of the people. They are not the end line, so the creative side, and not from the client. It's those middle management that always have some kind of ideas, and
so they're making the final decision, you mean?
They strongly suggest things.
Strongly suggest,
Yes. And that is all they do actually. They don't do much else, and they are not professional in aesthetics, are not artists, are not professors or anything. Like just office people that they try to do what they can. But I think those kind of remarks are mostly for push you down.
Really?
Yes, that actually nobody ever say that you
because they already have this control, and that's something I discovered that absolutely disgusts me. Like the model's apartment.
Yeah.
Like they make money on your back. Like in places like Singapore or Hong Kong, they put so many models. I mean, I'm talking in my experience because in Europe I didn't try, but they probably do the same. And expenses are it's expensive cities, so they put a lot of models in one room, one apartment. And then after they make you pay almost the price of a rent, but you're sharing, you sometimes sleeping on bunk beds, and yeah, and you're paying like almost, but not, it's not exactly the price of one room if you were alone in the room, but it's just in the middle. Like it's like, yeah, instead of $1,000, I would say they're gonna make it like 700 or 800. So you still prefer to be in a cheaper place because you don't know how you're gonna work in the country to pay you back, but it's still paying so much money because they own the apartment sometimes, or they rent the apartment. But if
So
there is
literally they are
four
making
models in
paying
one
for
room,
it.
four
Yeah.
models in one room, imagine 800 per models, and normally this room is rent 1,000 to 1,200 maximum a month.
Okay.
You see the money they are making on our back, and then after, yeah, there is an oven in the kitchen, but it doesn't work. I tried to turn it on. Yes, it works. It's just you don't want us to pay the electricity.
You know, there are people in the industry, like let's say, like music, and I can speak for myself, especially when I was there in Singapore, and models as well. Probably actors is the same. The middle management, you know, makes so much money out of you
Oh yeah.
that their
But
only
it took me a
concern
long
is
time
that
to realize that.
yeah, they don't want you to realize that.
Yeah.
Don't want you to realize
That's
how much
young,
money.
when you're young, when you start modeling,
that's
you don't realize
perfect,
that. But after that, I'm like, wow.
Yes.
And I mean, I understand everybody needs to make money, but like, don't fucking try to brainwash me, because now I discovered that and it disgusts me. And if they're doing it like that, then I take my distance and I do. We work together, or there is no one above, like, you know. And now I can go freelance, and I've been freelance the last year in Singapore, and my life is so much better. I moved out of the model's apartment, and yeah, it's like when there is like there is an electricity statement a month, and if we are above it, because I don't know, because someone forgot the aircon once, or just whatever, because maybe we are 7 in one apartment, or then we all pay the extra. It's supposed to be that much a month. If there is extra,
So there is
divide by
someone who's there thinking how to extract the money out of you know, and that's very unpleasant since you are working
But
for
it's
them.
just like, I feel like there is like a fucking dictator above me trying to control my life, and on my back, like, no extra that, don't do that, don't do that. And when you are already like 23, 24, this is something that really pissed me off. I had so many arguments the whole time I was there, until I moved out of the model's apartment. I was just, and also you feel kept in a cage, because the moment you reach your statement, I would say, to pay the rent or whatever, weirdly you have less jobs, because they just make enough money to like pay the rent and make a bit of money with you, but then after they need to do that.
So it's all control.
Yes, and I think that's what I understood about this system, and it seems to be similar a bit everywhere.
Yeah, it's similar everywhere.
Yeah. So at the moment they pay themselves back on the visa, the apartment, and the advancement and everything, they let you a tiny bit of extra, but the rest is for the other models they need to make money on, you know? That's so disgusting when they pretend to be friends and everything. It's so manipulative, and the moment I see that, I'm like, no, this is not how it works. So like we're human beings. Like no, this is disgusting.